I started meditating, but my mind keeps wandering. Is that a common thing that others also experience, or am I doing something wrong in my practice of meditation?
It's a good question, frequently asked. When you meditate, you see that mind is not in your control. But this is the case every time, everywhere we go, our mind commands us, do this and do that, and we do that, and we don't realize that it happens. But when you meditate, you see your mind, and then you realize that you have very poor control over your mind. So this is how the ordinary mind behaves, but the fact is that during meditation you see the mind, then you know that mind is wandering like that, and that is a very important observation that we cannot otherwise realize in the normal circumstances. So that is a problem that a beginner faces all the time. But even if among experienced meditators the same thing happens at a less frequency, so they manage to keep the mind in the meditation body scan, but occasionally it wanders. But when you meditate, increasingly you become more comfortable with meditation. So what you have to do is to keep meditating, keep practicing regularly, daily, and then you will realize you are improving. And to do that, you have to give number one priority to your meditation. Why number one? Because we have this problem of stress brought in by the thoughts that the mind brings in, and body response, and then we have this stress. And everybody has this to varying extents. Some people don't feel it all that much, but until the time comes, they will feel it very badly. And others very frequently feel the stress. But whatever it is, everybody feels it. So everybody has this problem, and we have to have a solution for them. That's why the priority. You have to give number one priority so that you deal with your mind better and make yourself comfortable.
What is the uniqueness in what the Buddha taught you? Is it different from other forms of meditation?
It is actually a unique thing. I have been trying many methods of meditation. Most of the methods give you the tranquility, the relaxation response that you require. But in addition, Buddhism gives what the Buddha taught me. I realized that it gives you the analytical skill of how the mind works, how the stress is generated, and then the reason for it, and the possibility of totally stopping your stress levels, physical and psychological both, and you can bring it down to zero, which is unbelievable. So this capability of bringing down the stress to zero, and then giving the analytical skill of looking at it, and then analyzing how this is created, that stress is created through our thoughts, and the reason for it. The reason is that naturally we have a poorly controlled desire to do various things, and then because of that the mind clings on to thoughts every now and then, every day, every minute or second, that happens. And then because of these two together, it gives you a complete solution. You can shut down yourself, like you are shutting down your tab or laptop or whatever. When you shut down, you get the time to recharge your batteries. It automatically happens. And then it gives you clarity, It gives you productivity. You become a more efficient, better person, and that is a special skill that this meditation gives. And other meditations don't give that analytical part. So you go to meditation, then you shut yourself, then you can stay, and the tranquility that you feel more or less the same. But this analytical part, we call it analytical insight meditation. So you are analyzing yourself. It's an ontological exploration to identify what you are and why we are getting these thoughts that creates stress, and that it can be stopped. And this method that we use is capable of doing that. So those four we realize during meditation.
I have heard that one can see how the mind works only during meditation, but not in other practices. How can that happen?
The mind in usual circumstances is full of thoughts, one after the other. This clutter is always there. Sometimes slows down, but in meditation you can slow it down to a very low level, so that sometimes you don't have a thought at all. Then the thought that you get occasionally, you can see the trajectory of that thought, and then suddenly you start seeing your mind. And suppose we have this flower here. The image of the flower falls on the eye. Then if the mind goes to the eye at that point, then there's a possibility of mind capturing that. If the mind is somewhere else, and if the flower falls on the eye, nothing happens. So when these two together, then the mind picks the data that is there, and then it is transformed into a kind of information. We know the difference between data and information. Data is raw, and it is shaped into some kind of a tangible thing, that is information. That is the second thing that happens, and then the mind gives it a value. If the mind gives it a value, then it is automatically registered in the database, in the memory. Mind disregards that, then that process of mind stops at there. So there are 5 aggregates in that: the data, and then the information, then processing or giving it a value, and then storing it, and at the beginning the touch, the contact. So those 5 happens, and you can see these 5 things happening within the mind. And then finally, once it is stored or deposited in the memory, that mind is over. Then it restarts from the beginning and goes to anywhere else in the 5 senses that we have: eye, ear, nose, tongue, and the entire body. So we start seeing this, and then at the same time, when the mind captures something, we start seeing that body also starts responding to that. You can detect this only during meditation, because when you bring the thoughts to a zero, then the body comes to the idling position, like an idling car, slow running, natural heartbeat, heart rate, and natural speed of respiration, naturally happening level of cellular chemical respiration and all that. And suddenly you pick up a thought from somewhere, then you feel that body starts firing up again. And now you see the difference. There's a place where you can stay with 100 zero stress, And when you are in the zero stress, when the stress begins again, you see the difference. Now only you can see the difference. And then you see this body response, and also you see the operational mechanism of the mind. Actually, I call this the operating system of a human being. So that is how you see it during meditation and not in other times.
Why do many people get addicted to certain food items, drinks, music, or bodily feelings? Sometimes these addictions are disturbing. Is it a weakness of the mind?
Good question. Is it a weakness of the mind? That is what the mind is. The mind always has this tenacity or wanted to cling on to something. It cannot just stay without doing anything. So this nature of clinging is common to everybody, but what to cling on to is different in different people. So somebody may want to have a cup of tea at 10:30 in the morning, and he is craving for that, and somehow the other gets up and goes for the tea, and without the tea it feels like almost impossible to go on after 10:30. So that is one person. Another person may want to eat something, or listen to a song or something, or sing a song, and those are fairly innocent things. But some people get addicted to alcohol and other drugs, substances, and some people frequently get angry for no reason sometimes. So this is the natural way the mind behaves. So almost everybody is having some desire like this that cannot be controlled. So as long as these are innocent and in line with the behavior of other people in the society, they are okay, they are considered normal. But certain things going beyond this, the framework of normal living, then these people distribute, show abnormal behaviors, or rather, we say they get addicted to this. As long as we work with our normal mind, we cannot avoid this 100%. But when you meditate and when you are out of this mental process, then all that is previously learned behaviors are gone. That is why you get this 100% freedom from stresses and all these desires and compelling needs inside the mind that we have very poor control, are all gone in meditation. So you come to a very soothing situation where everybody will like to be in if they experience this. The problem is a lot of people don't venture into meditation because you have to have a little tendency to that and previous experience. Then only you start looking at it and trying to do it. When you start doing it, only you will realize that it is so good.
Some people make certain observances such as a vegetarian diet, regular worship practices, chanting, etc. Are these necessities to achieve the final goal of nirvana?
Okay, at the beginning, you don't have to stop anything. You don't have to change anything. If you want to, the final objective that we have in mind is nirvana, or 100% freedom from thoughts with related analytical skills and wisdom. You just start the method. Now we discussed this method previously and it is available in a previous episode. Everyone can have a look at it, and you just sit down and start doing this body scan and related meditation process. You keep doing this. When you do that, it gives certain adjustments to your life which happens naturally. Now if you are craving for a particular dish, be it meat or fish or vegetarian, you will realize that you are craving for it. And when you don't have this vegetarian thing, you get upset a little bit. And during meditation, and once you have experience in meditation, you realize that it's rather crazy thing, craving for anything. So you let go of that. You eat something that is available and reasonably good to eat. And if you are interested or keen about nutrition, a nutritious, balanced diet, whatever is available. So this craving always gives you trouble. And if you are not craving, then it makes you very much comfortable. And it automatically happens through the meditation. You don't have to stop anything or change yourself to start meditation. You just start it and keep doing. The meditation will adjust your life for a healthier and better life.
Is it the 5 precepts or the 8 precepts that should be observed?
The usual teaching is 5 precepts, and then occasionally when you have time you go for the 8 precepts. But those things fall short of giving the final result. If you do this meditation as we taught, I say as we taught because we have experimented on this for nearly 2 decades and found what the correct method is among many methods. So if you start doing this, sorry, I forgot the question. Can you give me the question again?
Is it the 5 precepts?
All right. Okay. So now when you meditate, sit down to meditate and then do the body scan, it covers 5 precepts, because you don't kill, you don't steal, you don't malpractice on sensual or drink alcohol, you don't do anything. So similarly you cover 8 precepts also. And more than that, it gives you 100% discipline, physical and verbal, and related to livelihood also, 100%, because you don't move, you don't do anything from the physical body, so it is 100% discipline. You don't talk, and you are totally separate from the verbal communication or any other body language or anything. So verbal discipline is also 100%. So all the disciplines become 100%, which happens during this meditation process. It covers all the precepts that is available under the sun. The importance of that is that you have to bring the physical body to 100% stillness for the mind to be separated from that. Even if you want to move this little finger, you need the mind to do that. So when you are 100% still, you don't need the mind to do anything. So you can let go of the mind. Mind is an array of thoughts. So thoughts that are coming from the physical body are no longer coming, because it has come to a standstill, and not from the external environment or from the memory. Mind does not exist when it happens, because nothing coming from any source. And then that is required for this final thing, the total freedom from stress and total freedom from thinking process. That is why we need 100% physical and verbal discipline. We achieve that. All other precepts fall short of that. That is why the importance of it. So all these other disciplines are covered in this.
Thank you, sir, for all those insightful thoughts. I'm sure all our viewers will have something good to take away from this episode. And we will see you in the next episode.